Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we've got something pretty specific, maybe even a bit intense.
Yes.
Taking seven, seemingly random biblical verses and looking at them through a very particular prophetic lens.
Right. Dr. Ernest L. Martin's work, specifically from before 1998, that time frame is crucial here.
And we're going to apply this framework to some hypothetical news headlines from October 6th, 2025.
The goal is to see if this ancient pattern tells us something different about modern chaos. Not final doom, perhaps, but something corrective.
Exactly. And we're leaning on specific translations for precision here, like Young's Literal and Brenton's Septuagint.
Because the wording really matters. What we found is these verses aren't random at all. They build this stark didactic structure. Two paths, basically.
Okay, let's get into that. Path one, you called it the path of degeneration, the strange vine.
That's it. It maps how things break down morally, societally. Starts with spiritual apostasy. Jeremiah 2.21 puts it so powerfully.
The choice vine turning.
Yeah, willfully turning into degenerate shoots of a strange vine. It's like a corruption of its core identity.
And that kind of spiritual problem, it doesn't stay internal, does it?
Never. It leads straight to societal breakdown. You see it starkly in Judges 20, verse 5.
Ah, the incident in Gibeah.
Right. The masters of Gibeah, the leaders, commit this horrific violence, and there's no justice. It shows a complete failure of leadership, hospitality, everything.
And the end point of that decay.
Retributive violence.
Yeah.
Genesis 34.27. The response to violation isn't justice, it's just overwhelming plunder, spoil. It just feeds the cycle.
Okay, so that's the dark path. But there's a contrast.
Absolutely. The path of righteousness or the memorial of truth. And this one starts differently, with true authority.
John 7.18.
Defines righteousness simply as seeking the glory of the one who sent you, not your own. It's about motive.
And the character of this path.
Sacrificial devotion. Matthew 26.13 is the key here. This woman's selfless act.
The anointing.
Yes. It's declared a perpetual memorial, something to be told everywhere. It's pure devotion versus self-interest.
And the outcome is guaranteed.
Divine vindication. Job 36, verse 7. God withdraweth not from the righteous his eyes. They are watched over and ultimately exalted.
Okay, two very clear opposing paths laid out. But now the interpretive key, right? Why specifically Dr. Martin's work before 1998? What does that unlock?
Well, that specific period of his work was really centered on the doctrine of apokatastasis, universal restoration.
Okay. And that changes how we read things like judgment.
Completely. Under this specific lens, terms like destruction, judgment, even retribution, they aren't about final damnation for anyone. They're seen as temporary.
Temporary.
Yeah, and corrective. Remedial, like a severe refining process to purge sin. The goal eventually is reconciling all creation to God.
So the righteous are just the first ones through that fire, so to speak.
The first fruits, exactly. They lead the way.
Okay, so if that's the framework, chaos isn't the end, it's part of the cure. How does this apply to, say, a major political crisis today? Or, in our hypothetical 2025.
Let's take that U.S. government shutdown and constitutional crisis from our October 2025 headlines.
Right.
Through this lens, you could align that with Jeremiah 2.21, the choice vine, the national identity or system producing corrupt fruit. A deviation from its purpose that necessitates a corrective crisis.
Okay, I see the link. And what about something like the Israel-Hamas conflict, say, the discovery of rockets in Gaza?
That fits the pattern in Genesis 4.27. This cycle of defilement, provocation, leading to severe retributive action, plunder.
Under Martin's lens, that's the necessary, painful judgment running its course, part of the remediation.
That's the interpretation within this specific framework, yes, but the contrast is crucial.
The other path.
Exactly. Think about the vigils held by hostage families in Jerusalem. Amidst all the political turmoil and violence.
Their anguish, their public pleas.
That raw, selfless devotion for their loved ones. That's like a modern memorial from Matthew 26.13. It stands completely apart from the power plays and the violence.
And that kind of devotion, according to Job, is guaranteed.
Divine attention and ultimate exaltation.
Yeah.
It's the counter-narrative playing out simultaneously.
So, pulling it all together, the message here isn't despair at global or domestic conflicts?
Not at all. Within this specific pre-1998 Martin framework, these crises are seen as manifestations of severe but corrective judgments. They have to run their course before that ultimate universal reconciliation can happen.
It's a radically different way to view current events.
It is. And it leaves us with a really provocative thought for you, the listener, to consider.
Okay.
If all this global chaos is just a refining fire, a process that's ultimately designed in this view to save everyone, then what's the deeper purpose of that selfless devotion, that memorial we see on the other path? Why is it so important if the end result is already guaranteed for all?
Something to definitely mull over. That's our deep dive for today.